The following program contains mature subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised. Dr. Cash, tell us a little bit about how you rehab these people. What does the therapy entail?
Our goals are first keep them away from digital technology of all sorts for a minimum of 7 weeks. And so they're in that first phase of the program, 7 to 12 weeks. And during that time, their brains are allowed to come back to normal functioning. During that time, we're also really focused on their health because most of them who come to us are extremely chronically sleep deprived. They have not been exercising, so they're underweight or overweight, but very unfit. And they've not been eating well, often for years. They've been subsisting on junk food because and caffeine, so they can gain.
How do you, once you've had them in this more isolated and protected environment and allowed them to recover, how do you reintroduce them so that they don't relapse?
So the way we do that is in our second phase of the program, they're now living in apartments together, they're getting part-time work, they're not allowed to have computers and smartphones yet. They come to our center where we have a computer lab and they can use computers for a limited time. Those computers are monitored because they have made agreements about how they're going to use it, and we're going to hold them accountable to those agreements. And they have dumb phones rather than smartphones. So that goes on for about 6 months.
It's interesting.
I mean, it sounds much like a halfway house that you have to incorporate in the treatment with alcohol, drug addiction, that you go through the hardcore cold turkey, get them off completely, and then slowly get them back where they can join society, hopefully, and not regress back into their old habits.
I feel like this is more challenging, though, because we are all so attached to our devices now. And so while you may be a recovering alcoholic and more easily steer clear of alcohol because you can just avoid it completely if you choose to, nowadays, to function, you have to have a computer, you have to have a phone. I mean, that's the reality of many jobs and many professions.
It's more like a food addiction in that way. You need food to live, and quite honestly, it's really hard to live in our current society without technology.
Exactly. Yeah, but I think it's such an interesting point of both Dr. Bean and Dr. Cash, because I've watched these video games and I've played them with my kids, and I wonder if possibly it's evolving from more of a secondary thing when they were much less sophisticated and it was just a coping mechanism. But now the games are so sophisticated and so immersive that in and of themselves they're addictive. When you're playing, I get competitive. I want to win. Well, and I get that could be in and of itself a real challenge.
And I'm just fascinated by these cases, Dr. Cash, that you mentioned, these cases coming out of Korea where these people actually died. They went to such a dark place, letting video gaming consume them, that they, like you said, stopped eating, stopped sleeping. It took their lives.
We first opened almost 10 years ago. We got a call from a stepmother whose stepson, living with grandmother, had just had his leg amputated, and he was 21 years old, and he'd had his leg amputated because he was a game addict, and he sat and was so sedentary that it cut off circulation in his legs, and he actually had to lose the leg.